I'm trying to remember what happened. What did we start off with? Like, what was the first thing that happened?
Well, I remember episode 2. Episode 2 starts off where episode 1 left off.
Right.
Which was?
Well, we thought Danny was going to leave,
right?
But then he ended up staying, and he hooks up with his old buddy Eric, and
he says Eric can crash at his house as long as he helps with some like criminal job or something. Because like I said in the last episode, Eric is a criminal himself. He's on parole.
Which yeah, so stupid. Like, you're on parole. Like, parole is a tad bit different than probation. Like, sure, they both can get you in jail, but like parole literally means you've been sentenced and they let you out during your sentence. Like, and it means you go back in, you finish your sentence, and you might get more time. Like probation, if you violate probation,
right,
you may get your full whatever you're supposed to get whatever your original instead of the sentence, but you can fight that. But parole is like, nope, there's no questions asked, you go back. So I mean, well, they are in Florida. I mean,
so John is the sheriff, so it goes to a scene in a hospital where they discovered the girl in the lake, or I guess it was a river or whatever, and she is tore up.
She's like the last Airbenders. All of them came together, and all the elements came together, and they went to town. Right? She was burned and drowned.
So it wasn't an alligator. It could have been an alligator that bit her leg off, but
yeah,
obviously an alligator didn't set on fire.
Like she was she was boiled, she was grilled, and then someone ate her. I can't.
And I don't know. I don't remember. Did they say like they had any leads, or like they weren't suspecting Danny, were they?
No. Danny is not a suspect. I don't think they have anyone's a suspect. They don't even know her name.
No, they just said it was a Hispanic. So it wasn't Fiona Gallagher this time.
No. I can't get over that. Every time they say Fiona Gallagher, I'm like, it just brings the show down a little bit. The next scene was them in the hospital?
Yeah.
So the dad's in the hospital.
Oh wait, no. The next scene was sorry. Okay. So Danny didn't obviously he didn't go home. He didn't take his brother's advice. He skipped his bus. And I guess he went to tie up some loose ends with his dad, and they had a conversation about mending things before the dad died. And so that was kind of weird. Like, they kind of made it seem like he was saying like, before you die.
He was dying.
Well, I kind of looked at it like he was going to kill him.
Oh.
Like, before you die, like before I just kill you right now.
Oh, I thought he did it before, like he knew he was dying.
Oh yeah, it could have meant that too. Like, he's old. I was like, he's probably on his way out.
I mean, it's still something odd to say unless you know like a diagnosis.
Yeah. Or like, it's true. Like, don't hold on to things for your entire life. You never know what's gonna happen. But yeah, skips to the next scene after he said that. They're in the hospital.
They're in the hospital. Danny has his arm in a sling, and the dad's unconscious. We don't know what's going on. But what I thought was and then Kevin's annoying.
Kevin went off.
Oh, always
as per usual.
But you see, I liked how they dropped the little clues so you could infer about the abuse. Okay. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's when I knew about the abuse. I had a sense, of course.
Okay, Miss Cleo.
No, yeah, exactly. Ravenbacks to all of them. I had a sense because it was just like, okay. I felt like everyone was like, okay, yeah, he did bad stuff, but something had to happen for y'all to still have the sympathy.
Right. So in the flashback, was that Danny? Obviously, it was Danny. Was it Danny and the dad, or was it another brother? Because he looked old.
No, it was Danny and the dad.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Because Danny's the oldest.
true.
So it was the dad. Because remember, he kept saying dad. And then when the doctor said, remember that whole scene about his arm and the X-ray,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, a hit and run. I was like, no, ain't no hit and run.
And it was an old accident, but the point was it was an old accident. He was trying to like cover it up as like something new, so that was kind of suspicious.
And I knew from that moment. I was like, it was the father.
Yeah, or I also looked at it as he was trying to cover it up as like they both were in an accident. Like the dad was unconscious and then Danny was in a sling.
The abuse now,
That changes things.
it does change things, because Danny's not so much a perpetrator now and more of a victim.
Yeah, and something else that I noticed about the wife is the dad was unconscious and she's talking about, is he going to be okay for the conference? Like, lady, he can't even stand. So what do you mean? Is he going to be ready? Like, she didn't even care that he was like passed out.
But did you notice she kept looking across the station or the hospital, and then she looked into the next hospital room and she had a vision of Danny when he was younger, because she still has a resentment towards her husband about the abuse.
So she probably was like, oh God, they got into it again. Like, but this time he stood up for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what she was thinking. But like, I feel like she's the type of person, from what I've seen so far, like abuse can go on, crazy things can go on, but she's so concerned about having this perfect perception that she just won't talk about it at all. She'll act like it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. She'll repress it.
Repress it, yes, and which is common. But Kevin wasn't having it.
No.
He first of all, he in the hospital, he confronted Danny about it. He was like, what do you do? What did you do? What did you do? And it seemed like John was trying to keep the peace, but that didn't help. Like, because Kevin, I'm getting the names confused. He went around town and started asking everybody about it, and getting witnesses and stuff. And it's weird, now that I'm thinking about it, now that we've seen the ending, which I'm not going to reveal right now, that those people were like, oh yeah, we saw him attack him. It's like, okay, what was that about?
But you know what's funny? I'm not mad at them, because they were getting paid. Like, they were probably like, oh, I'm just going to say whatever he wanted to say. Yeah, give me more money.
Oh, they were.
What I'm mad at is, why did Danny say what he said?
Maybe because he felt like in his mind that's probably what they were thinking already. So just like, let me just say this, and because like they're not gonna believe me if I tell the truth. So I might as well just say, yeah, I did this, and like take the beating.
Danny needs to go read a book or something then, because the logic is not there. Just like, he's already beating you up. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, no, I would be like, well, we fighting and I'ma still tell the truth.
And it's so weird how like the dad, going back a little bit to like, they were starting to reveal how it wasn't the dad that said he didn't want Danny back. It was, he put the decision in everyone else's hands. And to me, it's kind of revealing how like the dad just doesn't commit to anything. Like, he doesn't care at all. Like, he gave the decision to his kids, and then he was just like, oh, I don't care, it doesn't matter. Like,
and then it was just like, you know, it was so funny. Had Danny, you know, really beat him up and did all the stuff, it would kind of serve him right, because it was just like the way he said that was just so like cold. Like, it wasn't even me, it was your brothers, the ones you think who love you,
nonchalant,
because you know I don't. And then do you see how he was so cold to Danny to his face? But when Kevin asked him, was it Kevin? Who asked him? Was somebody asked the father like, "Oh, why did you let him come back?" or something? Oh no, it was the wife. It was the mom, and he's like, "He's my son."
No, it was the mom. Yeah.
Well, where was that dad?
He didn't let him. Like I said, he didn't even commit to it. He didn't say no. He didn't say yes. He just put it in the kid's hands.
But it's just like, I love how you just two different people.
Right. Well, I mean, he's abusive. So.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about the flashback? After he got beat up, was in the process of getting beat. After Danny was in the process of getting beaten up by Kevin, John started having.
So John has a flashback because apparently it seems like everyone was there. All right. So Ike Turner was running after Danny, and and you don't see everyone around, but everyone else is having flashbacks of the same event. So they all had to have been there. And I guess this, in John's mind, he was like, wait, I have to intervene this time because I didn't intervene last time. And so he pulled Kevin off.
And then, so he pulled him off. Then it flashes back to, was Danny back at Eric's house? Like, I know he wasn't back at the family's house at that point. Danny, like in the ending scene, he was like sitting in a shed somewhere, like.
Oh yeah, I don't know. He seemed like he was on top of a roof or something.
Oh, okay, it doesn't matter.
Because it was like they had the city overview, and then he was on top of the roof.
But then it flashes back to the first scene, Danny and his dad together, and it shows the full thing that happened.
Yeah, and so Danny actually didn't hit his father, which I thought was odd because I mean, sure it's possible to get hit in the head and cause a stroke, but I mean it's not likely. So when they said he had a stroke, I was like, well, what did Danny have to do with that? I mean, sure, hitting someone with a paddle would do some damage, but it's just like,
it's like what they want us to expect Danny to do. Like, it's how they described him so far, that he would hit his father in the head with a paddle, but
you know, that's not the final scene though. The final scene is when Kevin gives John the gun. But it's just so funny. Why is Danny the problem? Like, I get that he should have told the truth instead of saying, I hit him with a paddle. But
like I said, I feel like he was just like fed up at that point. He got interrogated like 500 times.
But is Danny just a victim of circumstance?
Possibly. And
what song is that from?
I don't know.
I know it's from a song.
Well, like I said in the last episode, I feel like he was trying. It's a possibility that the family has a lot of dark secrets, and obviously they do, based off of the abuse flashback. And I feel like throughout the season there's going to be more flashbacks. And considering he was the one that was abused, like I said last time, it's a possibility that he's just rebelling against a family who's trying to portray themselves as perfect, and he doesn't fit into that perfect puzzle. So in doing so, he turned into the black sheep.
And I love, because that's so right, because Kevin, the divorce,
the hothead,
all right,
crazy,
the hot-headedness, living in whatever that place is,
the bad hair,
the no fashion sense, and
Meg, relevant,
Meg. We didn't even care that she was crying. We was like, okay. But you know what? She was there too, because she kept looking at the picture, and it was an old school picture, and it looked like Danny around the same age, and it looked like Ike Turner. So I think she was there too. The whole family just stood there and watched him beat him.
Yeah. He probably resents him because of that, and that's probably why he left so many times.
And we already know John's secret. He kills Danny.
Right. But we don't know why yet.
Imagine Danny's not dead and it turns to a horror movie at the end.
But
any predictions?
But after this happened, it completely changes my view of Danny that I had in the first place. So I just feel like as the season goes on, we're gonna be revealed a lot more secrets and a lot more flashbacks, and in the end we're gonna find out that Danny's the innocent one.
But you know what? I'm sorry, I have to change from Danny to Kevin. Kevin is giving me serial killer tease. I'm sorry, he really is. Like,
I don't know.
Like, he's always so. It's just like, can you relax?
Yeah, I just feel like he's protective and just doesn't like Danny. He just hates him so much, and him coming back just set him off.
You know what would be really funny? Because we don't know what Danny did, but what if Danny had his father arrested?
And they resent him for that.
Because I've heard of that, like in real life, where there was abuse in the family, and the kid told, and everyone got split up, and then everyone came back later on in life. So
I think
that is possible.
I'm personally excited to see where the season's gonna go. I'm interested.
I am too, because it's a lot of questions. His family's ratchet. Like, remember before last episode I was like, they borderline ratchet. No, they ratchet. They ratchet. They can have their own business and cook good dinners and have family. They ratchet.
They ratchet.
They had a fight. They had a fight on the yard. Come on, that's ratchet.
But aren't they the owners of the island? So, I think so. Or they own the island.
The island? I thought they just owned the resort.
Oh yeah, you can't own an island.
I don't know if they own the whole island.
Yeah, but
you can own the island, but I don't think they own the island.
Yeah, I think it's just a resort or something.
If that was the case, nobody would ever know anything.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the point.
And then I just want to know more John secrets, because he has to have them.
Possibly, or maybe he's just so hell-bent on like keeping everything together that he'll do anything by any means necessary.
Now, okay, last thing. Why did Kevin give him a gun when we just seen him burn him up? Or you think he was already dead? He was already dead bringing him to the boat?
Why did Kevin give... I think I missed that part.
Yeah, at the very end, Kevin gives John a gun as a revolver, and he's like, it's untraceable. So, when you watch a TV show, you gotta wait till the credits come on. No, this was right after the scene. I think it was right after the scene. Hold on, let me just...
No, because Netflix does that thing where, like, are there things after the credits?
Live fact checking on Slowless Reviews. Because I'm actually not sure if it was before that scene, the beach scene again, or after. I'm not sure.
Because the last thing I remember was, yeah, maybe, because that doesn't make sense that the episode ended like that. Because the last thing I remember is the dad having a stroke, and then Danny jumping in the water to save him. That's not how it ended, right?
Well, I was saying, is he already dead when he's carrying him through the woods and he's just like destroying evidence? Now, here's a big theory right here. Remember Eric at the beginning? He said, these people are people you don't want to mess with. A lot of the times, organized crime, you don't get to see who's at top or who's on the top. There's usually middlemen a lot of the time. What about if them two are the people running all of the illegal activity?
Right.
And they have to end up killing Danny because Danny gets too close.
They're the criminals and Danny's just
a victim of the circumstance. Whatever lyric. That's not a bad theory, I don't think. Especially the way this show is formatted.
And that we gave him plenty of chances to leave sounds kind of serial killer-ish. Like,
and it also sounds like someone getting too close.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we gave him plenty of chances to leave, and
he didn't leave. Well, this is getting pretty interesting. We'll see you guys on episode 3 of Bloodlines later.
Peace, homies.